Welcome back to Let's Use the C Word. So I thought I'd give you an update after my main surgery. So today is day 4 and it all went very, very well. The surgery itself was 12 hours in total. It went very, very well, as I said. There was a little bleed on the aorta, but that can happen, and it was sorted out obviously during the surgery, which was, great news. First day back in intensive care, there was lots of pain, and obviously it's just managing, what kind of combination of drugs you use to manage that pain. So for me, it was a combination of paracetamol, tramadol, and morphine, and that seemed to work, but it's just trying to work out when you do certain things. I think you might remember when I said that one of the things they do to improve your recovery is get you up and about kind of really early. So I actually went for 3 walks on my first day on Thursday, which felt fantastic, and actually it really did feel fantastic. It was sore, but yeah, it felt really good. The other thing that I'm allowed to have, or was allowed to have at that time, was 30 millimeters of water every hour. That is literally like your little shot glass, a little medicine glass. So it's amazing how much you can appreciate something as simple as water, but it was really good. And then we moved on to day 2, which was Friday. Unfortunately, I was in a lot of pain, in fact, excruciating pain. So I ended up having quite a lot of morphine to just ease that, so that I could get some motion and be able to do the things that I needed to do, because they're very, very keen for you to be as mobile as quickly as you possibly can, because that just makes a massive difference to the speed of your recovery. So that was something that we obviously needed to do. So I managed to get the pain eventually under control, and I also started doing some exercises in the chair. So the physio come around every single day and just basically get you moving. As you can imagine, my lungs being collapsed on this side, and so they want to do everything they possibly can to kind of expand the chest and give the ability for the lung to expand with it, obviously. And so I've been doing some bits and pieces in the chair, like arm stretches, and I've been really pushing myself to do those, because it makes a big difference. And I did 3 walks on day 2 as well, which was fantastic. It was also very painful, but it was really good. And you might have spotted, I know Amy's been sharing updates with people who've got in touch with her. And if anybody wants updates from Amy, because of everything that goes on in terms of the medication and the drugs, I'm not always able to respond to some messages. So if you have sent me a message and I haven't responded, I apologise profusely, but it's just not really very practical at the moment. I'll get there in the end, but not at the moment. So what you would have noticed on one of the pictures that Amy shared is I had a tube up here, and that went right down into my stomach. So on day 2 that was actually removed, which was fantastic. And then day 3, so I was away with the fairies on day 3. Combination of paracetamol and the tramadol, I can never say it properly, really does properly send me up into the clouds, and it sends me to sleep, and also just kind of all over the place. So I was in quite a lot of pain because, and as a result of that, I needed a lot of the meds. And then on day 3, I actually managed to go up a dose on the water. So I'm now having 50 mils of water every hour. But you wouldn't believe how much you appreciate those 50 mils. I also managed to up the exercise. So I did 4 walks on day 3, which was yesterday. And I also had another cannula out in my arm. One of my cannulas didn't work, which is why I've actually got very swollen forearms on both of them. And I also had the first drain out. So as part of the procedure, I have 3 drains going into my chest, which gets rid of all of the fluids, and that's basically one of them got removed yesterday, which was fantastic. And then that moves me on today. So last night I had a really, really painful night. Unfortunately, I woke up about half midnight, had a really quite violent cough, and of course you can imagine, I was really, really tender. But I did manage it, and they were quite concerned. They did an ECG to check the heart was all okay, and they also did a scan of my chest X-ray, and everything was fine. So that was really, really good. And then today I've done 4 walks already. I don't actually know what time it is. I think it's nearly 5 o'clock. I'm going to squeeze another one in, so I'm going to push myself to do another walk. And we're hoping that we're also going to get a second of the 3 drains out by the end of today as well, which will be fantastic, because if I'm honest, where the pain kind of focuses is around where the drains go in. So if you can get those removed, it just makes such an enormous difference. But overall, I'm doing really well. My surgeon's really pleased with me, and I'll keep you in the loop. I'll do it as regularly as I possibly can, but bear with me, it's not always particularly easy, because the medication combination and bits and pieces, it's quite tricky. But thank you all for all of your messages to me, but also for Amy as well, because it's vitally important. Thank you for all the cards, they're fantastic and really do genuinely make a difference. And as I said, if there is anybody that wants to get an update from Amy more regularly than I'll be able to, then just feel free to drop her a message. So yeah, take care everyone. I will check in with you as soon as I possibly can. And thank you for tuning in. Cheers.